November 27, 2019. Joe here at Simple Life Show. Appreciate everybody for joining me today. We have a interesting story, and it's not really a news story. This is actually, I've actually seen this type of story multiple times. A elementary school, I believe it's called Sterchi Elementary School in Knoxville, Tennessee, has started to introduce a Bible release time, in which students are allowed to miss basically an hour of school once a month to go to, I guess, a local church to, I guess, have Bible study, right? And so there's a lot of people up in arms about it, a lot of people that are saying this is a good thing. This isn't really the first time this has happened. There's been multiple other schools that have done this, have instituted a type of release time. So we will discuss, is this legal? Is this a separation of church and state type of issue? Is it something that we really need to worry about? I don't really think it is. However, every time there is something like this that happens, either the Freedom from Religion Foundation or the Satanic Temple Church, in this case the Satanic Children's Ministry of Knoxville, that's actually a real thing, they have kind of gone up in arms about it and kind of gone over the deep end about this. So we will look at what
At attend Sterchi Elementary, it caused quite the stir on social media, even a response from a satanic group. The Elgin Foundation and the church at Sterchi Hills have been approved for a special pilot. Knox County Schools says earlier this year they were approached about allowing their students to participate in release time during the school day to attend a Bible program at a local church.
We support church sites that want to implement this program on behalf of their parents. And that's really a very important thing to understand right up front, is that the legality of this program is built on the right of parents.
The program has many people guessing how a partnership between a church and a school is possible, and if it's even legal.
The Supreme Court in our country has determined that it is a legal program, and it's a constitutional right that parents have under certain conditions. It has to be by written parental request, it has to be off school property, and it cannot use any school funds.
And those are just a few of the rules on a long list of requirements in Tennessee state law that must be met before a program like this is approved. If all requirements are met, it's perfectly legal for students to be released during the school day for Bible instruction. The hope of the Elgin Foundation and the church at Sterchi.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop that. They just kind of reiterate what they were talking about, and that is really what is at discussion here, and that's it's controversy whether this is actually legal or not. So I had to actually look for the court case, and so the court case that is in question is called the Zork versus Clausen decision. And the Zork versus Clausen 343 U.S. 306, 1952 is a case in which the Supreme Court of the United States considered a school district allowing students to leave part of the day and receive religious instruction. Now, what a lot of people aren't really realizing, and what the Satanic Ministry of Knoxville or Children's Ministries of the Satanic, or whatever they want to call themselves, of Knoxville doesn't want to let you know, is that, number one, no other types of instruction or classes are going to be interrupted. This is going to be happening during their free time, okay, where they can pretty much take whatever elective that they want. They can study whatever they want, and it doesn't interfere with their math or their science or their history or anything like that. I personally believe that most children in schools today are not being taught really well to begin with. But that's a topic of another discussion. So the Zork versus Clausen decision 1952 still stands to this day. So we'll go to the decision here. And the decision states the Supreme Court upheld the arrangement by finding that it did not violate the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment or the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment because the instruction was not held within the school building and received no public funds. Now, if they were to actually have Bible study within the class and make it a requirement, yes, this would probably be a violation of the Establishment Clause. And, Even though it doesn't specifically say the separation of church and state, then we can assume that that would be a violation of that as well. But this is not in violation of any of that. It is simply allowing children, and it's allowing their parents to have religious instruction for their children during, I'm not going to say during school hours, I'm going to say during free time. And it's it's not held on school property. There is no public funding going towards it. So there should be absolutely no uproar. Now, if we go to the Satanic, I believe the Satanic Children's of Knoxville, they had said something here recently as well. Let's see. Oh, well, I want to remind you that having maintenance is the number one thing you can do to keep. Well, hold on for a second. I got a whole bunch of. When your system runs, it needs to be clean. All right, sorry about that. Had a pop up. All right, so we are on we're not so much on the Facebook page of the Satanic Children's Ministry of Knoxville, but they actually put out something that says, we are so excited. We just sent off our 501c3, which is a it's a charity. It's a nonprofit type of designation. We want to thank Sterchi Elementary School and the Church of Sterchi Hills and Knox County Public Schools. We could not have done this without you. We are struggling to find the best way to kick off our children's ministry. We know that we knew that the key would be getting inside our public schools, but there was no way presenting our satanic release program to the Knox County School Board that we could get approved on. And then it goes on. I'm not going to actually get into that. They actually go further. Let me see here. They go further here on their actual Facebook page, and I'll read a little bit from this as well, and you can kind of tell what I'm talking about. Knoxville, Tennessee Satanic Children's Ministry is a collective of Satanists in and around Knoxville. Okay, I got some messages coming up. That's the wonders of doing stuff live. Knoxville, Tennessee Satanic Children's Ministry is a collective of Satanists in and around Knoxville. We are not affiliated with any other satanic organization located in the U.S. or elsewhere. So they're a private organization. All right. So our aim is to combat proselytizing in the classroom, which means to its religious instructions, right? So what they're doing is that they're combating it by doing it. That's how they want to combat it, which makes no sense at all. In the classrooms, through programs such as Elgin's Foundation and a Church of Sterchi Hills recently introduced Bible release time. We feel that in order to reinforce a strong satanic upbringing of our children, we need a similar program in place for them. Elgin and the Church of Sterchi Hills will broadcast their program is an opt-in, and children do not have to attend. They don't. They do not announce that their goal is to promote proselytization in our public classrooms by teaching the children to do this for them. They are absolutely wrong. That is the definition of making it opt-in. That is the definition of having a written permission from your parents to do this. They are just simply allowing the parents to exercise their First Amendment, and also the Supreme Court decision from 1952 upholding their constitutional right to do this. They go further by saying this creates problems in the classroom, not just for us as Satanists, but also any Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, or atheist child in the classroom, as the children involved in Bible release time are taught to challenge the beliefs of their classmates and promote. How do they know what's being taught? Number one. When I used to go to church a lot, and I don't really go to church a lot, I'm a follower of the Christian religion, but I just choose not to go really to church that much. I mean, that's just my own personal choice. But when I used to go to church a lot, we didn't really have a lot of apologetics type of confrontational, warring with each other. That's not what it's all about. This demonstrates a misunderstanding of what is actually being taught in church and the whole purpose of church as well. So they say Satanists, but also the Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, and atheist child in the classroom involved. So challenge their beliefs of their classmates and promote that their God is the one true God. Well, for every religion, I don't know. Well, number one, Hindus don't really believe that. The Buddhists don't really believe that. Muslims definitely believe that. I believe every religion believes that their beliefs are superior to others. I think that's really just kind of by definition. So we're not going to really get into the whole theological point of this because that's not the point. The point is that this is a constitutional issue. The parents are allowed to do this. It is not using government taxpayer money. It is not. It's not on school grounds, and in fact, it is not during normal session hours. So they're not missing anything. So I don't know what the whole uproar about it is. But here's the thing, okay? The satanic ministry is trying to promote their idea as a religion itself. And I'll be the first to tell you, and I'm probably not the first to tell you, that Satanism is not a religion. It is a philosophy. It is not a religion. Even though they have a temple, it is not a religion. I repeat that. Satanism is not a religion. If we go to the textbook definition of religion, it's a noun, obviously, a set of beliefs concerning the cause, nature, and purpose of the universe, especially when considered as the creation of a superhuman agency or agencies, usually involving devotional and ritual observances, and often containing a moral code governing the conduct of human affairs. Now, if we go to the Satanic Temple under frequently asked questions, this is the Satanic Temple, and I would consider this as the authority on Satanism. So the beliefs of the Satanic Temple: do you worship Satan? No. Nor do you believe in the existence of Satan or the supernatural. So we go back to the religion. This is one of the main tenets of a religion: superhuman agency or agencies. The Satanic Temple believes that religion can and should be divorced from superstition. They are saying they are not a religion. As such, we do not promote a belief in a personal Satan. They don't even believe in Satan, but they are called Satanists. To embrace the name of Satan is to embrace rational inquiry, removed from supernaturalism and archaic traditional-based superstitions. Satanists should actively work to hone critical thinking and exercise reasonable agnosticism in all things. Our beliefs must be malleable to the best current scientific understandings of the material world, never the reverse. So Satanism, you could say that's the inverse of Christianity. Some say that. I wouldn't even say that. I would say that Satanism is the worship of the self. It is the embodiment of humanism. It is the embodiment of materialism. It is the embodiment of an amoral universe. This is what Satanists believe, that there's no such thing as morals. So if there's no such thing as morals, and everything is just down to rational inquiry and scientific inquiry, and everything is just, we could go on and on about that. It just, it's a self-defeating argument. And it's a common thing that not only atheists run into. I mean, Satanists are just atheists with a church, and that's all it is. They are fundamental atheists. That's what Satanism is. Satanism believes that there is no purpose to life. There is no purpose to anything. That there is no such thing as an absolute moral giver. There's no such thing as morality. Everything is really just up in the air. There's no objective anything in the world of Satanism. So for them to argue that something is not fair, that they shouldn't be shoving their religion, I mean, they're living in a world that has no rational, that has basically no rationality to it. Everything is just based on pure science, and that's it. Pure materialism, and that's it. Okay, there's no moral, there's no right or wrong or anything like that. That's what I find that's really interesting, is that they have such thing as, like, down here below. Do you promote evil? No, the Satanic Church holds to the basic premise that undue suffering is bad, and that which reduces suffering is good. Where are they getting this idea of good and evil from? They have already contradicted themselves in the first two paragraphs of their frequently asked questions. They say that the belief that they don't believe in anything that's moral. They don't believe in morality. They believe they live in an amoral universe. So how can there be evil or good in an amoral universe? There's no such thing as good or evil in an amoral universe. They should exercise reasonable agnosticism in all things. So what does that mean? That means that you don't have an opinion on anything. So that's where you should that's where you should have ended all these questions. If you have an agnosticism and you don't choose a side in anything, then there is no reason to even have a temple, because having a temple is saying that you are teaching something. And if you are teaching something, then you are on a side of something. So the Satanists out there need to pick a side. They need to stop this nonsense. They need to actually just be open and honest about who they are. And they can't even do that. I mean, every time I talk about the topic of Satanism, it's the same thing as talking about atheism. It's irrational. It makes no sense. It does not follow with what we see in the universe and what we can see with our rational minds. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there, but this whole thing with, you know, the satanic temple and the ministry of children, you know, this is hogwash. They are not a religion. They are not going to be teaching any kids of any value. If anything, they will be brainwashing them into believing there is no hope in the world. If you have looked at a lot of these shooters that shoot up schools, they have had these same beliefs that there is no purpose to the universe, that they have embraced the satanic, atheistic, materialistic type of view of the world. That killing people there is no good or evil. It's just something that has to be done. Think about it, people. Okay, so this is all I'm going to say on that. If you want to research this a little bit more, there's plenty of other examples out there of this happening, and of course the Satanic Temple and the Ministry of Children, Satanism, Church, or whatever they want to call themselves, are freaking out, just like the Freedom from Religion Foundation. I'll say this, that number one, that when this country was founded, it was founded against the idea that the Church of England should be forcing people to accept a one type of religion. It is freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. That is a perversion of the Constitution. It's a perversion of what this country was founded on. It was founded on freedom of religion. You can practice whatever religion you want. But Satanism is not a religion. It does not have any belief in the supernatural. It does not have belief in God. It does not have a belief in morality or anything else. But I'm not going to sit here and drone on and on about this. I think this is a very important distinction to make when this type of stuff happens. So I'll see you in the next one. I hope everyone has a good Thanksgiving and have a great and safe day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.